Meine Freunde, 12 by 12 today. I decided to show you this piece because not only do I love the colors, there's a combination with nickel laser gold that I'm obsessed with right now. And also I did a combination of blow and scoop and drag, which was kind of spontaneous. So I did the small one, and after that I did a bigger one, but the bigger one sucked. I'll show you little snippets of the big painting and try to tell you why it sucks, in my opinion. But that's a me problem. That is something that I have to deal with, learn, because I'm the one who doesn't like it. You might, but I don't. I'll stay with you, talk you through. Okay, I'll start, as always, with my first layer, the PPG Multi Pro regular wall paint straight out of the bottle. I get it from Home Depot. My first color was yellow ochre, and on top of that is quinacridone nickel azo gold. And this is my newest obsession. It looks like lavender, but it is grayish blue by Amsterdam. This is a concoction of Payne's gray and black. So it's a very, very, very dark color, almost black. Here I have my grayish black. Actually it's white, and I put a dollop of my grayish black. No, grayish blue. Bluish gray. I forgot what it is. And on top of that I add Gilded by this little piggy. You can get those mica pigments from Fluid Art Co. as well as the Tri-Art paints. That's where I got them anyways. This was my cell activator. It's black. I get my hairdryer out, and intentionally I was just practicing my blowout because I need practice. I'm getting better at it, so I'm pretty happy about that. See how cool those yellows and the bluish gray looks? So in the beginning when I blew out, I always followed the wave. I always pushed the hairdryer through. Tried to grab my cell activator, wait for the ripple, and then push that ripple. But I found that if I held back, like right here, see how I'm kind of pushing in, going back, pushing in, going back, pushing in, going back. That helps me seeing what's going on. And sometimes it's just too fast. When the force of the blow goes in and you push it out, you can't really stop. I just stop and then look at it and then push more. I'm not sure if that really is something that I would recommend you to do, because I don't know. Just try it. Just try it and let me know if you like it. Sometimes I think it can really help you. It does help me, so just try it. Yeah, I always need to puff in the middle because I think I use way too much cell activator, but look at this. There's hardly any solid space of cell juice left, and all those black spots turned into cells. Yeah, I like the blowout. I did well, I think. Well, in some spots not so much. It's always like 75% okay. And then I started playing. You have to be really careful to not pick up too much of your pillow paint, because what happens is that's what you're gonna add on top of your composition, and you don't always want that. And that's where my second piece comes in. But yeah, I'll show you later. So I lift the canvas a little bit to make it easier for me and for the paint to roll on top of my palette knife. Always make sure the palette knife is clean. And yeah, don't do too many of these. That's something that I found. The more you do, I mean, it's so hard not to make them because it's so much fun. But I have to stop myself to not overdo it. And instead, I do this. Just play with the edges. I might lose those anyway, so why not play around if I want to play so desperately, just do it in spots that you won't see after. So you see that every scoop and drag ends up being lighter than what was on the canvas before you scooped it out. And that's because you're stretching. You're stretching your paint in addition to the spin and tilting. So be aware of that. If you need some practice for your scoops and drags, you guys, my scoop and drag class in Dallas in March only has 2 spots left. So if you want to get in there, do it quickly. Or if you already know how to scoop and drag, I want to point out the Geometrical Bloom class. That is, I could have called that class Scoop and Drag Madness, because that's what we're gonna do. Lots of scoops and drags, overlapping and trying to figure out a new way of compositioning. If you're not sure what I'm doing here at all, I also offer a beginner's class. So we will be mixing the paints, you will see the consistency, and it will be my no varnish recipe. So that's kind of new for all of us. I'm so excited to get there, be there, see you, paint with you guys, and hopefully teach you something new. The next opportunity, and that is actually a pretty cool one, will be in the end of May at Deer Lake, Washington, close to Spokane. Those retreats are super intimate. This year there will be 15 spaces available, more than half I've already sold. So if you want to have an intense, intimate time with lots of fun and talk and eating and drinking, check out the description box. There's the link for a Fluid Art Experience in March in Dallas, as well as the retreat at Deer Lake, Washington. So this piece now is spun out and I am cleaning the edges. You should do that every time, especially when you set it to dry. Come back half-hour later and scrape the edges just to make sure your composition stays and doesn't just run off. And now when I tilt, you finally see that gilded. I totally forgot I put it on there, and then you tilt it, the light hits it, and man, that stuff sparkles. And I do like it for the bloom technique so much more than the also loved Deco Art 24 karat gold, because this doesn't take over. And see how crisp and nice my scoop and drags are. They are not super light, they don't lose detail. It is probably because I did not use such a big canvas. And yeah. Let us switch over to the other painting real quick. So this is a 16 by 20. The first bloom is slightly different colors, so I added Vinyasa by TLP and the salmon color, and I did not use the grayish blue. My blowout was okay. I cover that messed out part with my second blowout. Again, my yellow colors. This time I'm using the bluish gray. Grayish blue, I keep forgetting. Also the Vinyasa and the salmon color. That I don't think really worked. I really like the last blowing, the wispy colors, but I left some negative space. And if you want to leave negative space, you kind of have to plan that a little bit. You want to have the right balance. And in this one, it's not enough of my negative space. Not enough to keep it, and too much to tilt it off. And my scoop and drags are fun. I do like them a lot. But then I did something that I told you not to do, which is overdo it. Particularly in this short one here, you saw lots of white coming up. In this one as well, when you go big with the scoop and drags, you have to have in mind you're stretching your scoop and drags twice. That will make them paler, and that will also, depending on how much you tilt and how much you spin, kind of make your swipes wonky. There's another one that turned out pretty light. And I'm afraid I will add another one. Like I said, I cannot stop. I see the color and then I want to just mess with it. I do like it at this point a lot. It's wild, it has flow, and with right now it's kind of balanced, but again, I am spinning and tilting and expand this composition more. So let me do that for you before I show you the flyover of this baby. So one part why this is a goner is I don't like the colors. I assume the vinyasa mixed in with one of my yellows and turned into this weird greenish color, and that in combination with that salmon color and the bluish gray, grayish blue, I don't know, guys. No, let's switch back to the other painting. And here we have just the blues and the yellow. So much nicer for my eyes. So the biggest tip I can always give you is when you're a beginner or struggle with things, start small. And I need some more practice with a little bit smaller canvases with this, and then slowly go bigger. Let me show you the bigger canvas. Yeah, and right here we see that weird green. Not pretty. No, I do not like it. Wonkers. A lot of wonkers. Mainly that is because you have to work this canvas more. You have to get more paint off and move the paint more. That gives the opportunity to those scoop and drags that are already thinned out in its layer to lose their shape. Parts move faster than others, and then you get wonkers. I think I could have done the tilting better, but just the colors are not doing it for me as well as the flow. And this is my weird attempt for a flyover with a small piece. Sorry, that didn't really work out. Don't know what I was thinking. I will show you both pieces next to each other, dry in a sec. here they are. Small one wins 100%. Let me show you what I really do not like about this one. So this color, nope. Second one in the composition, can you guess it? There is one movement that messes everything up, and that is this guy here. We have this wonderful wavy, explodey, hedgy thing going on, and then we have two. This one helps a little bit, but this one is so dominant. It's because it's so light. If it was darker, it might disappear a bit. Yet the spots with the grayish blue and the QNAG are just so pretty. I love this color combination. And that brings me to the little guy. Way more forgiving, a little canvas. See, there's wonkers in there, but they're not as dominant because they stop after a few inches. You don't see those messy, funky tails like here and there and there. I do not hate them. I just don't like them if they are so prominent and sticking out, which is a normal thing when you're doing scoop and drags. Yo, that's my 2 cents for this week. And if you need more cents, I'm also here on Mondays for a live session, 12:30 Pacific time. I would like to see you in the chat. Yeah, well, now that's it. Bye-bye.